Namaste, bitches. It's Thunder Bear here, and I got the Gremlin as my sidekick.
Okay. Why the fuck do I have to be the gremlin?
I don't know.
Okay.
And we're going to do commentary on the Tour of Washington kickoff crit 2019. And let's see. This is one of my favorite races. Friday night in downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. And right now we got Pete Doyle in front of me with his cool ass helmet cam. And you got Captain Green Bike there on the right. I don't know who that is, but it's a cool color bike. I like it. Yep. So this is a 45-minute crit Cat 4-5.
And why is this your favorite race?
Honestly, because it's just a fun venue. Like doing downtown crits is just something you don't get to do a lot of, and having it be like 30 minutes from my house is just an added bonus. And plus, it's like I work in Hagerstown, so I can literally go to work, and then when I get off work, I can just chill in Hagerstown, hang out, wait for the race to start, and race my bike after work.
Do you like doing downtowns versus other ones because more people come out?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely like it's a much more like, I don't know, like fun vibe. Like having more people out to actually, like, people that aren't bike racers come out and cheer for you. Because usually it's like whenever you go to a bike race, like in a like industrial park crit or something like that, it's always just other bike racers or their family members. They just come out to cheer on. But when you actually have like people that don't know anything about bike racing coming out and watching, it's always fun. Cheering you on, having a good time, people drinking. Or maybe I just like the drinking part, I don't know. So, alright. So, this was, let's see, this was like 5 days before I went to Wisconsin for the Tour of America's Dairylands. So this was going to be my last race before I headed up there. So this is kind of like a tune-up race. And so my goal, like my strategy, was to just stay in the top like 10, 15.
And did you do that?
I did, actually. I did a pretty good job, actually. I felt really good.
In this race, were you racing by yourself or with a team?
All by myself. It's rare that I get to race with teammates. So yeah, all by myself. One team that came out and they raced really well together was Velo Labs. And so I kept once the race started, and they've been driving the pace so far. Two of the guys are up on the front, and they've been driving the pace from the start, which is great, because that's what you want if you're a strong racer, because then you're not getting swarmed the whole time. So right now, like, the whole field is strung out. As you can see, we're still single file, and we're like going into lap 3. And so when it's this fast, it's safe. The group isn't bunching up. Everybody's staying single file. It's really fast. So it's safe and it's fast, and being fit, I can stay up near the front, no problem. So anytime it slows up, I try and move up, because you always want to be racing forward, and instead of backwards. I don't worry about who's behind me. So like, just slow it up a little, I'm gonna move up. I try not to stay on, if I can, I try to avoid going to the front of the race, like being in the wind, but I always want to move up if I can, just to avoid getting swarmed and overtaken. And I was making a point before you interrupted. Good job.
I know. Well played. See, that was my strategic move there. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was very, very good. I like that. What was I saying?
I don't know, but you were doing a good job of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a really fun course too. Pretty simple. 4 corners with a little chicane between corners 3 and 4. And a chicane, I don't know if you know that or not, is like in the bike racing world.
Like a whoop?
Yeah, like a quick left-right or right-left. So right now we got Mr. Anthony Carter. Hey, Mr. Carter there on the right there, just passed. He's also a strong rider. We raced together.
Why did he just do that?
So that guy is trying to do a breakaway. So he's put an attack in
And
to
that
try
guy was
and
following him?
yeah. So like I said, this guy in front of me is one of the Velo Lab guys that's been driving the pace, and so the guy that just chased after that other guy is also a Velo Labs guy. So they're doing a really good job of covering any moves that go up the road. But to be honest with you, this is very early on in this race, and to try and put a move in this early or start a breakaway right now it's too soon. So as you can see, he got caught, brought back. So
it didn't work out for him?
Nope, didn't work out for him.
Is that why you're staying there?
Yep. I'm trying to be patient.
Okay. So for every right answer you give, you get 1 sweet tea.
Oh, thank you. Sweet girl. Yay. So yeah, trying to exercise patience, just ride wheels.
Is it working?
Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of the guys in this race have been racing with them through the spring into now we're into summer, and so after riding with them, racing with them over a few months, you get to know who's who and what's what, who's strong, who's not, and
who you want to follow and who you don't.
Exactly. So the guy that went off the front, I didn't know who he was, so I was being patient, waiting to see if anybody else wanted to chase him down.
What would have happened if somebody else would have chased him down?
Well, somebody else did chase him down, and as soon as that guy got caught, he gave up. Gave up.
Oh, the second guy that went by.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to be patient and ride wheels. Mainly my focus here is I'd like to get on the podium. They do 5 deep here, so that 5 deep means they'll do first, second, third, fourth, fifth place. But they pay out 15 deep, which is what I love about this race. It's always nice. They pay out deep. So yeah, like I said, my goal is to try and get on the podium before I head to Wisconsin, and so just being patient, being at the front of the race, riding wheels. And there goes Pete Doyle again with his cool helmet cam. And
what's the average speed for this?
So in this race, we averaged close to 27 miles an hour.
Is that normal?
Yeah, between 26 27 is what we usually average in Cat 4 or 5 races, right? And at least this year we did. And see, that corner that we just went through is probably the toughest corner. It's tight, and there's like bumps on the far left corner of the inside corner. It's a little iffy, so if you don't hit it right, you can get thrown off your line,
and you don't want to do that?
No, don't want to do that.
Why not?
Well, you get thrown off your line, you could go over the curb or take someone else out.
And that would be bad?
That would be bad. You don't want to wreck. Wrecking's bad.
So that earned you a sweet tart.
Thank you. Sweet tart, good. And yeah.
Do you think the people standing there watching you guys know what's going on?
Probably not a clue, but
they just see bikes going by really fast and they cheer.
Yeah. Joe Jefferson, who puts on this race, so this is the kickoff criterium for the Tour of Washington County, and so Tour of Washington County is a 2-day stage race. So this is Friday night, and the stage race starts on Saturday.
Where is it?
In Washington County, Maryland. So it takes place in Smithsburg, Boonesboro and surrounding area. And so this is the kickoff pit for it. So Joe Jefferson and his team, the Antinovello Club, put it on, and Joe Jefferson actually does announcing for this race, and he does a really good job of trying to inform
the bystanders.
Yeah,
of what's going on.
The pedestrian people, the NARPs, the non-athletic regular people.
Ah.
Yeah. So he does a really good job of that. Actually, he does announcing for like national level events and stuff too. So. So he actually does a really good job announcing with these races. It's always fun hearing your name called out when you come through at the front of the race. So yeah.
What lap are you on now?
I have no idea. I've lost count. How far into it are we? We're 11 minutes in so far, so this is like what I said, 45-minute race, something like that. So we're coming up on
how long are
the first third? Honestly, I think probably distance-wise, I think it's like around 0.6 or 0.7 of a mile, so 6 or 7 tenths of a mile. And yeah, it's probably around a minute and a half, somewhere around there. Yeah, so all right. Cruising
What's
along.
happening there? Why is everybody like they're not single file anymore?
So the guys who were at the front, the Velo Labs guys, are starting to slow down. They're wearing out a little. They've been on the front 10 minutes or so. So they slowed down, then some people have moved up. And this is a low-level race, so teamwork is usually not like a very prominent thing. You know, so that guy goes again. And then there's a Velo Labs getting ready to covering him. So I just sit on, this is a Velo Labs guy, so I'm going to sit on his wheel because I know if his team needs to make a move, they're gonna follow it. So I'll just follow them. I'm not panicking. And then, as you can see, he didn't make it anywhere. He got caught and gave up trying to break away. So whenever the group slows, somebody tries to put in an attack to try and make a breakaway. And on this course, it's hard to get on the breakaway in this level of racing that I'm in.
Why?
Well,
this course in particular, it's hard for a breakaway.
Well,
or just
this course
racing
with
at this level.
This course with this field, because it's kind of funny. Like this race, like even though this is a Cat 4-5 race, which is lower level category, our average speed was like I think faster than the Cat 3 race that was after our race. So that's an upper level category race.
Mm-hmm.
But our race was faster overall because Cat 4-5 guys always seem to chase down everything. So in higher level category races, like they'll let breakaways, like they'll let people go off the road and then worry about chasing them down later because they have teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So the team will work together to bring back a break if they feel that they need to. Whereas with lower level category races, most of the time people are racing for themselves or by themselves because there's not a lot of team.
Do you wear lucky socks during your race?
No.
That's not the right answer, but I'll still put you as
So right here, you can see I moved up. I was carrying a lot of momentum after somebody put in a hard dig.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't try and break and fall in line. I just carry my momentum through. Coast up to the front. It's always a good idea not to, if you don't have to use your brakes, don't use your brakes. Because you just put
I
out...
have brakes on my bike?
Yeah. Funny.
Just checking.
So, like, a lot of times when, like, the group slows or something like that, some people will just stay in the draft and break. But I'll just carry that. I'll just let that momentum carry me up. If I had, I'll just carry them all the way to the front.
Okay.
That way, I'm not wasting any energy. So if guys want to come up by me, then I'm already up near the front. I don't have to waste any energy to try and get back on.
Do you use your brakes when you go through that hard corner?
No. If I have to, I'll slow before the corner. But most of the time, I'll just stop pedaling. I know when I need to stop pedaling, and then I'll coast through it. Like this corner coming up right here, I could pedal through this corner almost every lap. The only reason I wouldn't pedal through it was if I had to slow down because people were slowing down in front of me. So you can see these guys are pedaling through it. I had no problem pedaling through it either. And don't mind my speed's off like in the downtown events because the buildings they mess up the satellite. So my speed is all based off of satellite GPS.
Okay.
Because sometimes you'll see I'll go from into a corner at 18 miles an hour and then 5 seconds later I'm doing 28 miles an hour. I can't do that. I can't jump 10 miles an hour in 5 seconds. It's just not humanly possible. This stretch is really fast through the chicane. I mean, as you can see, we're doing 29 miles an hour through here, and then I'm not really even trying to push that hard through there.
So where are you at now? Is there people up ahead of Rainbow?
Nope.
Feller there?
I'm sitting third wheel.
Okay.
No, right now there's no moves up the road.
So it's just you three up there?
Right now, we're still on the group. The pack is behind me right now. So I'm not off the front. I'm not in a breakaway or anything. I'm just sitting third wheel near the front of the race, which was my goal. Stay at the front of the race. Like I said,
so is it easier to stay on the front of the race, in the middle of the race?
Depends on the course. This course, it's way easier to stay at the front of the race, and the only reason for that is because of the turn 3.
But if you're new to this race, how do you know that?
You don't. So my goal, if I go to a race that I don't know, I try and do the same thing. I try and stay in, for the first 10 or 15 minutes, I want to be at the front of the race.
Why?
Why? Because I don't know how the race is going to play out. I don't know the course, so I don't know how it's going to, I don't know how people are going to race it. This course I've done enough times.
And when you say you don't know how people are going to race it, does that mean that they're going to race it fast, they're going to race it slow, or they're going to be...
Well, usually it's always going to be fast and hard at the beginning, but I don't know where people are going to go fast or hard, and I don't know how people are going to be riding. I don't know how they're going to be handling the corners.
The people that are racing, in a race that you've never raced before, if you stay at the front, those are people that have done it before?
Usually. They're more familiar with it. But I will always if I don't know a course, I'll get to it early. If I can ride the course, or if I can't ride the course, I'll walk the course, and if other people are racing on it, I'll watch them as they race it.
Like a race before you?
Yeah.
Or when you look up races before?
I will do that as well. If I can find YouTube videos of a race course, I'll do that too.
So you kind of know what you're walking into.
You try and get a better sense of it for sure, but it's nothing is quite like.
Did you do that with this race?
This race, the first time I ever did it, no. Because that was 2013, and race videos from people were back then were non-existent, but now it's everybody has one of something. So I went into it pretty blind.
How'd you do on your first race on this one versus now?
First time I did this race, I got my ass kicked. It was
On your first race?
Yeah, it was a Cat 4 race, and I got my ass kicked pretty bad.
How many races had you raced before you did this one?
I'd raced like a full season or so.
In 13.
Yeah, that was in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. So, yeah. And yeah, got my ass kicked.
But the courses stayed the same?
This course, they've run the same roads, but they've done it two different directions. They've done it this direction, and they've also done it in the opposite direction. And for me personally, the better, like, finish wise would be the opposite of the direction we're racing right now.
That isn't the guy you were following before. Why are you following him now?
Just I happened to be there. The other guy that was on the front pulled off, so now I'm on his wheel.
So now is there somebody ahead?
Nope. So I'm running second wheel. So this guy's probably going to, either somebody's going to get impatient and pass him, or he's going to be like, well, I don't want to ride the front the whole time. So he's going to probably stop pedaling. As you can see, I'm not putting out a lot of power right now. So I'm just cruising behind this guy. And this is a pretty fast stretch, so he's not going very fast. So I kind of feel like there's a swell coming. So I surge in front of him, as you can see, like there. So somebody comes up on the outside of that guy on my right. So I was anticipating a surge, and sure enough, somebody came up by me. So, and
he's putting out.
So usually, if I'm riding someone's draft, I'm putting out about anywhere between 25-30% less power than they are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's always nicer to be in the draft than be on the front, because I don't have to work as hard as they do. And that's actually John Grease there. He ended up winning last year, so 2019. He won the Virginia State Championship for Cat 4s down in Chesapeake, Virginia. So yeah, so then he pulled off, like he was like, oh no, there he is. So that guy that was riding the wheel before, he came around him. So now I'm back in third wheel again, without having to put any really big efforts in. Like I said, just trying to ride smart.
So how do you feel on the race right now?
I'm going to slow down. I'm going to let him in, so I'm still third wheel. What's that?
How do you feel on the race now?
Right now, looking at my heart rate, It's pretty easy.
No, like, looking back, like, do you remember this race?
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel good about where you were at?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Like I said, in previous years, like even the year before this one, 2018, I had a pretty good race. I finished 6th, but I didn't stay at the front of the race the whole time. Like, I was struggling during certain parts of it, and I would go to the back of the race.
How do you think you would do in this race if you were to race tomorrow?
Probably just as well as I did here, if not better. Yeah, definitely fitter than I was last year. I wish I could race. Fucking COVID-19. That's how I really feel.
You don't get a sweetheart for that.
No, I'm sorry. Bad words.
There's no fucking allowed in this race.
Tell me about it. Wait, hold on. I think I did get fucked in this race. Yeah. So, like I said, previous year, I had to go back to the back of the pack a couple times because I got winded, like from doing some hard efforts for preems.
But yet you haven't gotten winded in this race, right?
I also haven't put out any hard efforts yet. I've been pretty chill, just staying at the front. But even I know I did put out some efforts in this race, and even with those efforts, I still, when I would come back into the group or whatever, I just maintained my top 10, top 15 spot. I never.
Where does your mind go when you race?
My mind doesn't go anywhere. It's a constant.
Like, who's in front of me, who's behind me?
I mean, it is just. It's a great thing for someone with ADD to do. Because you are constantly watching what's in front of you, keeping an eye on what's beside you, behind you, up ahead of you, what's coming up, where should I be, who should I be riding behind, who should I not be riding behind.
Does that come with experience?
Yes, definitely. The more I've raced, the better I've gotten at it, for sure. Some people pick it up really quick. For me, I'm a slow learner.
You're not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
You get one sweet third for that.
Yeah. So there goes Mr. Carter. Putting in a breakaway attempt.
Why? Why now?
There was a lull in the pace, a slowing. So
and he didn't want to go that slow?
He had momentum. So if you have momentum and there's a slowing in the race and you're feeling good, you want to go for it, you put an attack in, hoping to get away, start a break. So
why would you want to do that?
If you're not confident in your sprint ability. So this guy, Velo Labs guy, goes to chase him down.
Okay, but so say he does that, but is it close enough to the end of the race for him to dump in all that effort?
Depends on your fitness level.
Like, he thinks he can maintain that gap for the remainder of the race.
Yeah. He thought he could. That he was feeling good enough to. I mean, we're over halfway through the race, and he felt good enough to do that. So.
But it didn't work out for him?
It did not.
Because
me and the Velo Labs guy chased him down.
On purpose?
Yes. Well, because like I said, I know.
Well, because the Velo Lab guy is now no longer in front of you, right?
Right. He started the chase, and I continued it. So like I said, that's one of the nice things about knowing your competition. I know Mr. Carter. He placed third in the last race we did together before this race. So
is that good?
Yeah. That was like a 60-plus person field, and he placed third in it. So I know he's strong, and so if he's making a move, I'm gonna bring him back or chase him down. So there he is. He's still at the front. So even though he just put in that big move, he's still at the front. And then there's a Velo Labs guy up the road, and I'm sitting second wheel, so I'm gonna jump on his wheel.
But you're still not putting out a whole lot of effort to catch up to him.
No.
Because one yellow sweet.
Thank you. So one thing I'm really good at, that's a really good move right there, because we slowed down a lot. One thing I'm really good at is carrying a lot of speed through corners.
Why?
Two things. My weight and I'm really confident in my cornering skills.
You did a good job cornering me, so it's fine.
Yeah, I cornered you. So,
you didn't do so good with that comeback.
I know. It's all right. So
you got to be quicker than that on your corners.
Yes, ma'am. So I just like Beth has put it before. She's like, you ride like you have no fear. And I'm like, well, I have plenty of fear, but I can't worry about that if I'm racing. If you're truly racing, you can't worry about stuff like that. Wrecking, crashing, anything like that.
Well, no, because it happens.
It happens. It's going to happen.
You bounce. It's fine.
Yeah. I've yet to be in the hospital for wrecking crit, so.
You shouldn't say things like that.
So, I don't know. Bombing down hills I'm really good at. Yeah, so I am currently trying to chase down the guy that went on the attacker player. I don't know why. This is a really dumb move of me, but...
How'd it work out for you? Wait, who's that feller?
Well, it turns out everybody else wanted to chase him down too, so...
Apparently they didn't like him being ahead.
Yeah. I started the chase and then I brought in
I haven't seen
help.
those two guys. Where'd they come from?
Actually, that guy I've ridden behind before.
Oh, yeah.
The other guy, that's I can't remember his name, but he's a really
That's
strong.
Feller.
Feller? Is that what you called him?
Yeah, it's Feller.
Yeah, Feller.
It used to be Feller. I mean, it's better than Rainbow Bright.
Yeah. So, yeah, this guy did a lot of work he didn't need to do. He flicks his elbow. You see that? He wants me to pull through. So, like, okay, I'll pull through real quick, and then I'll pull off probably pretty quick too. And I'm always, when I'm racing, I'm looking at my shadow. Not my shadow, but looking for shadows to see who's behind me.
Does that work out for you?
Yeah, it's always good. Look, like when you're coming through here, you're looking to your side, just see if you can see any shadows coming up. Make sure people are on your wheel. If they're not on your wheel, then you're like, okay, well, how far ahead am I? So
Because
then,
do you want to be super far ahead?
no. Well, I mean, if I am, great, but I don't think I was. So the Velo Labs guys just pulled through that team that was driving the pace early on in the race. They came through, so they're on a mission to bring back that guy because they actually have that team has a really good sprinter. His name is Brandon Wang, and he I think he won the race before this one, the same race that Anthony Carter came in third on. So he's a really strong sprinter. So his teammates are trying to bring back that guy, so he has a good chance at winning the sprint. Ah, that's good beer.
I know. I picked it.
Cheers to that. Tink tink. All right. Yeah. So
what's happening here?
right now, like we're still.
Wait,
trying
did they chase that guy down? Is that him?
They're still chasing him down. They haven't caught him yet.
Oh, they need to giddy up.
Yeah. That guy was really strong.
So you are. Where are you now?
I'm like 6th, 7th wheel.
Wait, how did we go from third wheel to like 7th?
It's really easy in bike racing.
I don't like that.
I'll tell you, it's a constant. That's Dustin on the right there in the blue. I trained with him a lot. Really strong guy.
Did he just go zoom zoom?
No.
Oh.
That was a different guy. That's the guy that's put in a couple attacks there. So, like I said, I'm being patient. I'm letting all these guys do the work to bring back that other guy.
What's the average age of these racers?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't even know. Like Dustin there, he's like 36, 37, somewhere around there. And then Brandon Wang, the guy, the Velo Labs guy, he's like 20 something. Mr. Carter is like older than me. He's like 48, 49. And I'm 43 right now. Last year I was 42. So I'd say.
Are you sure?
I'd say the average age is probably somewhere around 30. If you were to poll all these guys, that guy right there on the left, and that's a Bike Doctor kit, older Bike Doctor kit. That's I can't remember his name, but he's like 50 some years old. He's a really strong rider too. I think he ends up getting third in this race, and Dustin gets fourth. So right now, I can't remember if we've caught the breakaway rider yet.
No.
We're still going pretty hard, so he's probably still right up the road. They'll probably see him, so they're getting all anxious and stuff. So we're going pretty hard.
That would be distracting.
What, the butt or the colors?
No,
for
just
you?
the two. No, just the two. It's like boop.
Eyeballs.
Yeah. Like, why is his ass staring at me? I couldn't ride behind him. I'd be like, dude, you gotta go.
Well, I wouldn't be staring at his ass. Right now, I'm probably staring.
Well, now you have to, because it's looking at you.
No, I'm never staring. Honestly, I hardly ever look at the person right in front of me. If I'm in a group like this, I'm watching what's going on up the road.
Well, yeah, as you should be.
Because I want to know.
Because if they screw up there, then that affects.
Exactly. So I want to know what's going on up there. If they're slowing down, I want to start making moves so I can get around them.
Right.
If they're
it's like
screwing
a Tetris
up,
thing.
I want to get exactly. If they're screwing up, I want to make sure that I can make it around them. So it looks like we're just getting ready to make the catch on that guy that made the move.
But I mean, watching it, just saying that dude's ass is staring at you.
Gotcha. Okay. Not staring at me.
Well,
staring
he
at you.
was. I wasn't on the bike behind him. You chose to ride behind him.
I chose. You know.
You could have passed him.
Had no reason to though.
Except for his ass was staring at you. That's a reason to go around him.
Yeah. Alright.
Just saying.
Alright, so what? We're 36 and a half minutes in.
And they're all clustering now.
Yeah, so we're getting into the final 10 minutes or so of this race. So next time we come
and
through,
now
I'll see
everybody's.
if I can.
Why is everybody like clustering now?
Well, because everybody's trying to get to the front to secure the position for the finish. Because in the closing laps, it's going to get even faster than it has been.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to make sure you're following the right wheels and.
Well, because now there's lots of colors that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. Well, see, this guy in front of me right now, that's the one that's made a couple of attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And the Velolabs guys have brought him back several times. So he got on my nerves a couple times because he like the corner before this one, he was trying to cut me off on the inside.
Yeah, like he kind of did that.
Not even. It was like he was like on the inside, like he was trying to cut me off on the inside. I'm like, dude, I'm not. You're like 110 pounds. I'm 220 pounds. I'm not going to let you in. So, all right, that's actually that guy in the rainbow one. Actually, I like that kid. He's Anthony Carter's.
Oh, okay.
So the guy with the helmet came there, Mr. Carter. That's his teammate. So he actually brings Mr. Carter up to the front. So they start kind of working as a team to try and drive the pace going into the finals. I forgot to look at the lap count last time I went through. So one thing I try and do, like this guy just moved up on the inside right before this corner.
Mm-hmm.
When we start to get into the final laps, I'll start moving closer to the left before that corner to try and shut down anybody dive bombing. Yeah, trying to come in on the inside of that corner because that has a tendency.
Does anybody else do that?
What I do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, not really. If I had teammates, I'd be telling them to do that. Why? We just don't think about it. Most Cat 4 or 5 racers don't think about it.
So how did you know to do that?
Honestly, watching enough racing and just
Did you just
learning.
move up?
I just moved up.
So the dude that's staring at you again.
Yeah. So the Velolabs guys, he's got all of his teammates on the front right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in 1, 2, 3 position. So I'm trying to ride them because they seem like they are very organized. Totally missed what lap we're on. I think we have 2 to go. So that's John Gray on the left, I believe is his name.
Oh yeah, because you guys noticeably got faster.
Yeah. So, but the Velolabs guys are not keeping the pace high enough. If I'm moving up right now, it's not fast enough. And I think I actually made that comment. I was like, it's not fast enough. It's not fast enough. So I moved up a little, and Yeah, I think this is the last. No, I think we got 1.5 to go right here. And I'm inside the Velo Labs train. That's a getting it in cyclist on the front there, Mr. Carter's teammate. And he's driving the pace, but it's still not fast enough. If this was my team,
how fast should you be going right now?
Right before that turn, we should be going at least 20, 29 miles an hour, but we were only doing like 26. Right here, we should be going 30 miles an hour easy. And we're not. We're doing 28, 27. Now we're even going even slower. So the pace needs to be higher. I think we're coming up on 1 lap to go. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, but I'm not happy with the speed. It needs to be faster because
pull away from the rest of them?
No, not to pull away, to keep it safe. So the faster that we got, 1 lap to go. I think that's what that says. So so to keep the race safe and to secure my position where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1 lap to go. So I'm sitting 4th wheel, 5th wheel on Mr. Carter's wheel, who I know is a strong rider. So I'm happy with that. But right here, I'm like, it's not fast enough. We're only doing 25 miles an hour, 26. Like, we should be doing 27, 28 on that corner. Coming up here, these guys need to be driving the pace hard, but they're not. And this is where teammates. So right now, I wanted to ride Mr. Carter's wheel, but I didn't. I let him get away. So I'm like, okay, I'll ride the Velo Labs guy's wheel. We're still not going fast. They're not riding fast enough. That guy makes another solid move on the left. So now we pick up the pace finally. Mr. Carter and that guy get through the corner good. Velo Labs guy blows the corner, slows us all down. I should have been doing 28 into that corner, no problem. So now we're in chase mode. As you can see, we're way behind first and second heading up the road there. So,
but the whole race he did well in that corner, so why do you think he blew it in that corner?
I have no idea what happened, but he totally blew that corner. So now this is why I wanted the race to be faster, is because I'm not a good sprinter. So I'm having to try and sprint, and I'm not a good sprinter, especially uphill. So I actually came in 6th place, just off the podium. Just missed the podium. So frustrating. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Namaste, bitches.